Good evening, Speed Gaming. My name is Falconic. Here we are, week 5 of the spring tournament. Winner moves on. Loser goes to play in Crescent Lake with the old men in a circle. I'm joined on my maiden voyage tonight by Caleb. Caleb, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Falc. How you doing, man?
Making it. So tell us what we have here. Mezada versus TwitchNChilled. I know you're semi-familiar with Twitch, and we're still learning a little bit about Mezada. What about Twitch?
This is a battle of the 1 and 3s. The winner gets to continue on in the last chance qualifier next week, and the loser gets to go to Crescent Lake, like you said, and party with the old men. Twitch, I know he came on my podcast a couple weeks ago when he and I were racing. He's new to the community just like I am. He's like, when in our conversation on the podcast, I learned that he and I, we have very similar stories. We came into this community about a month ago, right before the spring tournament began. We both came from YouTube, watching the videos for the past year and a half or so. And overall, he's just a great guy, super fun competitor. And I was messaging him with a little bit this morning on a Discord, telling him I was going to be calling his race tonight, and seems super relaxed and chilled about it, just like his name would be. So I'm excited to. I'm excited to watch this race and see what these guys can do. Hopefully they can put on a show for us.
Yeah, Twitch was one of the ones that caught our YouTube live stream that Will Cleosis and I commentated on. I definitely remember that one. Mezada, newer to the tournament here as well. Let's take a look at these parties first and foremost. TwitchNChilled, double fighter, red, black. Mezada going with what I like to call, everyone calls it the rainbow party. I call it the Tristal MTG party. And I mean that with all due respect and also a little bit of criticism. It's bland, it's safe, but it's effective, right? I mean, it's Tristal. He can dominate just about anybody with it. I assume that's probably what he's going to run against me this week, and I've got some plans for that. But right off the start, which party do you lean towards here? Which one do you think has the advantage?
With these flags, I like the double fighter. That's the party that I ran in my week 1 against Will Cleosis, and it gives you good access to all the melee gear, all the armor that you're going to find, and you get all the black magic, so you're going to get fast, you're going to get temper. Where those spell slots land, is a different story. And with the red mage, you might get lucky, get some early healing magic in the lower levels, and round out the party. That also the fighters will then be able to back up once you get that tail. But the versatility of the Rainbow Mage is there too. It's just that red mage is a little squishier than a second fighter.
A little bit. Looks like the gates are about to be dropped for the race here. The one thing I do like about that Rainbow Party, and you just kind of touched on it, is it gives you so many options as to who you want to Dan and when. If magic lays more towards the black side, then maybe the white mage takes a nap. If it's more towards the white, the black, and if it's just all locked out, then the red mage just goes to sleep for a little while. But I'm also one of the type of people that would possibly put the fighter to sleep and just rock 3 mages. So I like it because it lets you decide on the fly. But here we go. The race has started off. We're going to find out real quick what the magic looks like, but not before we rearrange.
Yep. Party shuffle comes first, I guess. Makes it a little easier when you're buying spells.
X for heal 2. I love that X for heal 2 is a nice convenient spell at level 1 fast, and Ice 2 and Quad X. So I'm going to go ahead and say pretty good magic. It's not the best, but it's good.
It'll get the job done early for sure. You got Quad X for Garland, you got Ice 2 for the sweeper spell, and you got Fast, which you love to see at level 1.
That Quad X is going to get some serious use in the first 30 to 60 minutes of this match. It's going to insta-kill just about everything.
Absolutely. And the advantage to having the red mage is you're going to get 2 casts. So if you get a nasty random encounter with maybe ogres are packing something nasty, you have 2 Quad X's that should take. And we got cheap gold bracelets for about 17k. That's pretty good.
That is really good. One of the practice seeds I ran earlier today, they were always hovering around the 45 to 50k mark. So to see 16 is pretty lucky.
They do have the inconvenient item shop without heal pots. I don't like that. That kind of bums me out, right?
Well, you do have heal 2 though, so you got something. But
yeah,
it's just going to have heals.
Yeah, it's just going to make that last shopping trip before Topher that much more of a pain in the butt to have to go. Is it Elfland that has oh no, Elfland's you just got to find heal pots to stock up your supplies. So it's just a little bit of a It's inconvenient, that's all.
So one of the things that I like to do here, and Mezada's doing it as well, I know Will Cleosis is out there screaming for it too. If you only get a second tier level of black magic at level 1, like your ice 2s, your fire 2s, your light 2s, take some fights against imps. I think it's a really smart play. You're going to get yourself an extra spell charge or 2, because sometimes 2 charges just isn't enough to get Garland down, and then you're stuck swinging whatever you have to swing.
Yep, but we do have that quad X though, which should take out Garland. I can't see Garland rolling more than 300 health.
You certainly can't, not at these, what I like to call baby percent flags. 220 for bosses, and I think it's 200 for the enemies, and it's not clamped either. So
right, and Twitch, it looks like he popped the cabin outside of Temple of Fiends, and they're both going to be checking these chests here.
So one thing to kind of keep, Ice Sword early is very nice for that fighter. One thing to keep an eye on here, and this is something that you typically don't see with newer runners, and you see it all the time with veterans and a Coral Sword, is mapping out the encounter table, seeing how far you can get off of a walk on that power reset. And I don't know that we've seen either runner do that. Twitch took the cabin, but I think we saw a soft reset there.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to figure out what he was trying to do there. There was a couple resets.
And there's the quad X on Garland, just like you said you would do. Garland goes down instantly. Level 3 across the board for Mezada. We're going to find out what the King and Princess Sarah have for us today, and it is the canoe. Don't say floater. And the slab.
Well, that's fun. That's it gives you full unfettered access to the inner continent, and the slab. Who knows? It might be in Vanilla Melmon, so that might not even be helpful. Right?
So put yourself in their shoes. Now you've got canoe. Slab doesn't really do you a whole lot of good unless both towns land favorably for you. Are you going left towards Dwarf and Elfland, or do you check Revoca and possibly Matoya?
I'd walk across the bridge here just because I've been burnt by Matoya before. So I would pop across the bridge, pop that cabin, walk up, check Matoya, and then in one big loop, basically, check Matoya, walk to Provoke. If Provoke is nothing, reset out and you're back on the bridge, and it's not that much of a time sink for you.
No, you certainly wouldn't be talking about a match where maybe Mazmoon was at Matoya's, would you?
I don't want to talk about it.
So I agree with you. I think the safe play is to put that tent up near the Matoya split. Go ahead and check and see what she has. If it's nothing good, you just reset, and then do the same thing over to Provoke. If the town's no good, you just reset, and I mean, you're 15, 20 seconds out, no worse for the wear.
Yep, and it looks like what Mezada might be doing.
And Twitch is following in his path. So 3 chests here, not the greatest chances of landing something good, but you never know.
Never know.
Hey!
Beautiful find early in the game. Now you have a free lit 2. Yeah, that's an awesome find.
So it's interesting to watch how people use some of these items, right? You find a Thor hammer early, a mage staff, light axe, something like that. You often see runners will put that on their mages, the people that already have spell charges, versus putting it on like the fighter that could also start doing AoE. Is there a preference that you have, or?
I try to put it on the person that doesn't have as much to do in combat. Mm-hmm. So it might be the white mage that doesn't have a lot of offensive magic. It might be the second fighter or a thief if the when the flag's forced to.
Mm-hmm.
And we so this is exactly why I would want to save right over the bridge. You don't want to walk all the way back from.
Well, Mezada at least saved near the bridge. We'll give him credit for that. So he's able to reset out. TwitchNChilled, more than likely going to do the same. I certainly don't think he's going to save right outside Provoke it before he checks it. So we're going to find out real quick what the dwarves have. 2 chests.
I do know, I will say this, I'm pretty sure TwitchNChilled, when given the opportunity, he may check Marsh Cave before he goes to Elfland. I know that he is a big believer in diving Marsh early. He loves it. He loves Earth Cave. He goes against the status quo for sure when it comes to those early dungeons. And
that sounds like fizzle beef to me. Cabin and money. Thor Hammer will definitely carry you. I know chat's kind of going off saying Thor is a great item, and it surely is. But level 4, when Provoca could be the town, I don't know that I like that play. It's bold.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton, but we'll see if it pays off. I also don't know if that's what he's going to do. I know that's what he's done in the past. That's what he did in the race that he had with me, and he dove Earth when I put it off. And if Earth had come up, he would have won that race against me. So, and we have seen Earth Cave hiding things a lot lately, so it could pay out big for him if he does that. And
it is not Provoca, it's on rack, but at least we can get our 2 dead characters back to life, and maybe we get the vendor item. Now, what's nice here, though, is we have Canoe, so we're not forced to go to Marsh just yet. We still have hope over towards the east that maybe Crescent Lake is something good.
Yep, and it looks like Twitch, he is going to prove me to be a little bit of a liar, but he might just be coming here to stock up, see what the town is, maybe buy some of those houses, and then walk back to.
Oh no, Mezada is opting to go. I think it's a Marsh Cave dive.
I don't think Mezada has the money to res his party member.
Oh, good catch. There were cheap tents and cheap heal potions, but no, it doesn't look like he had the money to res.
That feels really bad.
Yeah, with Quad X, I would have rather seen him take a couple ogre fights outside of Elfland.
Yeah, I think he's walking all the way back to Canaria for the cheaper res.
Well, that is unfortunate, but this is Twitch's chance to kind of open up that door and gain a pretty substantial lead here, because this is a long walk.
Yeah, I probably would have. He had the tents. I would have tried to save Scum across the rivers to Crescent Lake at that point, because it might be Elfland, it might be Provoca with a cheaper healthcare system.
Yeah, even if it wasn't, let's say it's something like Gaia or something that really isn't beneficial. There's giants outside Crescent Lake, and you have Quad X. So you want your money? There's your money.
Yep, and it could. There's always the chance that Crescent Lake could be Melmont, and he could at least. Turn in that slab, and then you can sail up the rivers, knock out Lefane, and then you turn that adversity into prosperity.
That's a good point. Wouldn't be surprised if it's something like, who knows, a floater after that long chain, and you're gonna Mezada's over here. Well, no, Twitch is over in Marsh now, so we're gonna see now if it's a loose item in Marsh.
He's doing it. He's going to Marsh before he goes and checks out Crescent Lake, and the scums got rubbed. I just got rubbed out by some scums. It feels bad, man.
Yeah, sleeping on the job a little bit. That already starts to put me a little bit on edge when the first enemy you run into here is already starting to cast death spells, and you just hit level 4. Ugh.
It's a good information play. Check these top 3 if they're not, or these top 3 rooms. If they're nothing, you can reset out, and all of a sudden your fighter's back.
Looks like Twitch has the Ice Sword on the fighter, which is great, but he also has the Thor on the fighter. I would imagine it's because he's going to try to get some casts out of the mages there. But with the Ice Sword, I think I'd rather have that fighter swinging right about now.
Yeah, it looks like he's Thor hammering and then running with the mage.
Not a bad strategy. Chances are very good you're just going to reset out of this top marsh anyways, so I don't know that I'd be spending too much time taking some of these fights as if you were going to keep the experience.
That's fair.
Bats get in the way, because that's what bats do. And, that's nice, but I think I'd still reset and just keep it in the back of my mind that if I really want that Aegis later, I know where to find it.
Yeah, and it's a shame that it was the right chest and not the left chest, because I believe it's the left chest that's linked to the lower floor that you can just grab it on your way down to the incentivized location.
I believe you are correct. I'm curious to see how Twitch is doing for money. That Age of Shield, it's great. Do not get me wrong.
Would you hawk it?
I would see how much it sells for.
It's information. I can respect that.
I guess it really depends for Twitch, though. If he plans on keeping, you dead for the rest of the seed, then yeah, I would check the price on it. If he's going to bring you back, no. 2 fighters, you keep the Aegis.
Yeah, there are 2 opal shields in the game, and it's not, the stone poison resistance is wonderful on the Aegis, but as far as the absorb that you get from it, it's not much better than the
Right. All right, so Mezada is going the route that I think I would do. I think information is king in these flag sets, and we're going to find out a little bit of information from Mezada as to what Crescent Lake is. I don't know that we're going to see Volcano or Ice Dive, maybe an Armory. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't do Armory right away, but that's Lord Fizzlebeef in my head. I like. Yeah, I would probably maybe I'd check the Armory, like the cluster. I don't think I would check the long hallway chests.
Right.
And then I would probably be in Marsh. It can be scary, but it's not as scary as Ice Cave. And you have no way of killing Carry right now, so I think Marsh, maybe it's your floater and you're airborne in under 20 minutes.
It's one of those things that you have a key item. In these flags, Marsh is an incentivized location, so there's a key item there, and there's a very good chance with Canoe already in your possession, it could easily be the floater, and that's the right play to do. But on the chance that it's not, and your gear right now is really not all that great, maybe the Volcano Dive is not such a bad play. There's a lot of chests on that second floor with a lot of free tiles to walk on. If something like Mazmoon drops early, it can change your entire seed.
And Mezada shows us that Crescent Lake is Elfland, so that's huge. That will definitely alleviate a lot of concerns, especially with that level 3 fit and level 3 life. And that level 3
life, yeah.
And that's learnable for everybody. Post promotion, of course.
So I think Mezada's best play right now might be to save and take. Let's find out first and foremost what the first fight is off the power reset. If it's Giants, you've got Quad X, they're more than likely going to fall to it. We just picked up Ice 3. Maybe we take out some Peds if they're available?
Yeah, absolutely. And TwitchNChilled is about to find out what these wizards are hiding. And level 3 Brack and Nuke.
Brack and Nuke is on the table. Let's see if Mezada does a soft reset or a hard reset. He does a hard reset. Are we? It's a Ruby!
Oh, no.
Oh, no! I mean, Marsh was great, but we don't need it yet, and Mezada is... Well, he found Peds. Off the power reset, he found Peds to the lower right quadrant of Crescent Lake. So we'll see if he's going to do the veteran move here and walk right back to that city, save, and come out here and fish this encounter.
And it looks like TwitchNChilled reset out of Marsh, so he's going to leave that Ruby behind. So not too much of a waste of time.
Yeah, I don't blame him. But we've already seen, especially in this past week, we saw 2 races with the loose item in Titan's Cave. So
yeah, I mean it's unfortunate that you spent that time diving Marsh, but slamming your head against that wall to try to walk that out, that I've seen that cost runners races too. So now, if it were floater, if it were any of the dungeon required items, the rod, the cube, anything like that, I think you put a little more effort into getting it out. But with just it being the Ruby, like you said with the Aegis Shield, you know where it is. If you get locked out of Sarda, or you're really struggling for those 4 chests, you can just come back here.
Well, let me paint you a little picture here, though, and my mind goes to the worst places. You grind up levels outside Crescent Lake, you go and you dive Ice Cave. Ice Cave gives you the ship. All of a sudden, that Ruby is blocking access to Sarda. You start to get that feeling on the back of your neck like, oh, crap. This could be a Ruby locked or a Sarda locked floater.
Yeah, we've seen that before too. I'm going to do my best and think positively for our friends running this right now.
I think that's where we differ. I like to see all the pain and suffering on screen so that the randomizer gets it out of the way before my race.
That's not how this works, Falconic. That's not how
that's how I want it to work. All right, so Mezada looks like, and I gotta say it, he's 1-3. He's a newer runner. This is a veteran move. He found those peds. He knows exactly how to get them, and he's taking full advantage. He's slinging fades. He's slinging ice threes. All of a sudden, things are looking a little bit easier for Mezada. Right? He doesn't know that the Ruby is going to be over in Marsh Cave, but he's making sure that when he does go Marsh, it's not so scary.
So it looks like they must be in a different encounter zone because TwitchNChilled just did a hard power reset and found trolls on the first encounter. So are these feeds, are the peds buried in like the second or third encounter slot?
So outside Crescent Lake is kind of a unique zone, right? It's just southeast of the town. I'm talking steps to the southeast of the town is actually a quadrant. It's the meeting of 4 different encounter zones. So you can, within steps, take 4 different enemies. There's a map that we can pull up that hopefully somebody can share that will show you exactly where those quadrants line up, but very good for farming encounters.
Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. So Twitch is doing what you said, and he's diving the volcano.
I love it. Sometimes it's not about playing the seed, it's about playing your opponent, and you got to think, this is a stupid move. My opponent won't do stupid things, so I'm going to do stupid things.
I wouldn't call this a stupid thing. It's just, it is something that you said that you would do a minute ago.
I like it. Again, information is king, and we're finding out what's in the chests. I don't know that I would attack these outer chests right away. I think you go for the meat and potatoes of the armory first, but I can certainly respect not wanting to leave anything behind. It looks like Argoyles had nuke and we missed it. And if they did, that had to have been first turn.
Yeah, something wiped out his party. Oh no, he came in here with a party nearly wiped out. And peds are unrunnable for him, and he doesn't have those spells, so he's gonna have a bad time if he doesn't adjust.
First turn nuke from the Argoyles, and we're gonna see them again up in Ordeals.
Walk away, buddy. Just walk away from the volcano. That's the second unrunnable encounter you've seen. Bulls and scorpions can be tough too. Just walk away, man.
Yeah, this would start to make me question my dive here. If I had warp or exit, I would feel better about just saying, you know what, eventually I'm not going to see those Argoyles. But with first turn nuke from them, no thanks. I think I'm out.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a play where he came in here to quickly get money for the healthcare system, because he's walking in here with a downed red mage.
This is possible. Man, I really hate Argoyles. Everyone that plays this game has that one enemy that they just can't stand. He did. He saves.
Okay.
Argoyles happens to be mine. I think Mancats are Wilcleos's worst enemy. What about you? What's the one enemy that you just never have luck with?
I'm with Wilcleos here. The man-sized cats and the cat-sized men, I don't ever need them in my encounter. Also not a fan of the bulls. I like a Zombull, but a regular bull, I've had them roll really high health, and I've had them roll stupid abilities, and they're frequently unrunnable. In the vanilla game, it's this encounter that TwitchNChilled played. The Ochos and the Caribs, wasn't a fan of that in the vanilla game. In fact, all of the river encounters I didn't like.
I agree with that up until Frost Gators. The moment I found out how much XP they gave, I took them every chance I got.
Yeah.
So TwitchNChilled is spending some of the money. I like what Mezada did, and I'm glad that he didn't spend too much time doing it. You can often kind of get stuck thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to take 7, 8, 9 more fights of this first encounter and make everything easy. You've already made things easy. You've got like level 10, you've got level 11, you have spell charges. You don't have the bonus XP yet, so don't spend too much time there, and it looks like that's what he did. The problem is that he's about to find out what Argoyles have.
Yeah, and the trolls look like they have Dazzle, and TwitchNChilled. He's trying to do what Mezada did with the grind here outside of Crescent Lake, but he needs to cross that river. and trolls have squint.
Yeah, that's rough. Will Cleosis, if you scroll up on your screen, posted the link of that map for everyone to kind of check out to see where those zones kind of intersect each other. Mezada, maybe he got lucky, maybe he knew to check there. Personally, I think what he was doing is he did a hard reset out of Crescent Lake, and he was walking back down to Marsh and accidentally ran into some peeds, but he capitalized, so you can't be too mad at it.
No, not at all. Not at all.
TwitchNChilled, he's farming. I think he's looking for a peed fight. It looks like he's taken a few right off the reset, but if he would just go south a little, he's going to find what he's looking for.
Yep.
Hangry Canuck joining us. Asks if it was a rough start. No, I don't think it was a rough start. Magic at level 1 was decent, decent to good, I'd even say. Marsh Cave just turned out to be a bust, and only one runner's been there to find that out yet.
Yep, I had to get chat open. I realized I didn't have my chat room open.
So Mezada checks the hairpin chest. He's not going to get a loose cube missed like some of our runners might have done earlier this week. Will. Pro Ring pickup is a great pickup, though, and now Mezada's making his way over towards the top left chest. It looks like he's going to do a full clear, but I think the second he sees Argoyles, it'll be interesting to see how he reacts.
Yeah, I don't know if that would make him just stop and just go to Ice Cave, but you're kind of running out of opportunity or options here.
Well, hey there, a ribbon and an opal shield back-to-back chests. Mezada doesn't yet know about the Aegis being in Marsh, but that ribbon's going to go quite a ways, especially now that you can put it on a character that has life. That feels really good.
Yeah, that's my favorite character to put it on. And TwitchNChilled is just continuing his troll grind, and I'm willing you to walk across the river, bro. Go across the river. Please go across the river.
So while you're willing Twitch to go across, Fury in chat is furious with you, which is appropriate.
Sorry, buddy. I'm new. Oh, man. And Mezada, so Twitch can't find peeds. Mezada can't get away from them.
Oh no, here it is. Argoyles, and they attack, and they cast first turn nuke, and down goes Mezada. The benefit here, though, no, Mezada, please, go back.
And he walk away.
He walked the entire volcano floor and got his way to Armory.
And didn't check it.
So, but he has to at least know that if he does the same encounter table, he could have made his way all the way to Armory to check them all. But nope, he's going to leave, and we're going to check out Ice Cave, which, sure, it doesn't have first turn nuke, but I mean, it might as well.
Yeah, and who knows what they're going to have. With Twitch, he found the peeds, man. All right, let's go.
Yeah, by accident, or did he head across the river?
I was too busy watching the first turn nuke, man.
I think we all were. Where's Twitch at? Twitch is gaining levels. That's good. Oh, he just found him deep.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Unless he counted how many encounters it was and just knows that he can burn them all. It's not as fast, but there. Okay, there you go.
There's some more.
And Yarmoshi has a question in chat. 25 minutes in and we've only found 2 items. That is correct. Kind of. We did find the Ruby and Marsh, but Twitch left it behind.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've got the canoe and we've got
the slab.
What else? The slab. Yes, we have canoe and we have slab. The problem is that Ice Cave is almost certainly going to hold our progression, and well, we have no levels. Well, at least we didn't until Mezada found peeds.
Yeah, and Twitch he walk across the river, man. Just do it.
This is one of those things that when Twitch watches this VOD back, it'll be a mistake he never makes again.
Yeah.
My first race was against Tristal, Czar, One Fine Day, I think, was in that one as well. Just Minochi was in it, and I missed the key going into Temple of Fiends. And guess what? I never did again.
It's a trial by fire right there, man.
Yeah. So he'll watch it back, and he'll learn that there's different zones near Crescent Lake, and he'll be better for it.
Yep. That's like checking Matoya's cave, man. Sometimes you gotta take your lumps to learn your lesson.
So I like the fact it seems like Mezada. I know he's new, and his record indicates that maybe he's had a little bit of a rough go. He's certainly showing me that he knows which fights yield good XP.
Yep. That's it's an important lesson to learn. Unfortunately, for 268 gold, feels bad.
Yeah, the money wasn't worth it. I gotta think he didn't mean to step in that hole. I think he wanted to go around and get the top left chest, but he misstepped. So now that's going to be a problem, because on the off chance that a loose item is in that top left chest, he's going to have to re-dive ice to find it.
I feel like we've seen that too. Like in the past week, I feel like we've seen that. I've been running too many practices to keep all the different and watching all the VODs. I can't keep them straight anymore, but I know that I've seen like adamant or TNT or something in that top left chest in that drop down room.
Oh yeah, I'm convinced that the game puts it there after it finds out you skipped it.
That's how that works.
Twitch immediately runs into Argoyles, says "ha," and resets. But is not deterred. He wants to find out what's in this armory, and I like it. Oh, nope. Never mind. We're going to go north first.
Well, he will find a ribbon if he goes up there. So it's not... That's encouragement.
That's a good move. Ribbon and Opal Shield, which for a double fighter party is pretty mandatory.
Yep, and that will light up another item on that tracker for it.
So Mezada is about to check his 6 chests here in the what I call the Frostwolf room. Twitch gets his ribbon, cloth, heal, nothing good so far. Are the Frostwolves going to be friendly?
Probably not.
No, it looks like they don't have spells or a skill list, so that's good.
What do we say to the Argoyle with Nuke? Not today.
So that's a bust. Frostwolf room yields absolutely nothing. Twitch is putting the Wrath of Odin on Mux here.
Falcon, I'm going back to that question you asked me earlier about the enemies you hate to see. Mm-hmm. And it's not a specific enemy, and we're not even in the right dungeon anymore, but I just had like a PTSD flashback of the Arbone Bone Crawl Pack from Marsh Cave. Like, too many times has that thing just made my skin crawl.
Oh, yeah. Pun intended?
Once I was in the end of the sentence, yeah.
So a light axe find so far is about the only thing we've pulled out of Armory.
Yep, there was a silver bracelet, which isn't a bad find at this level.
And Ice did not have our loose that we know of anyways. Of course, we don't know what's in this top left chest.
And I loved it. Mezada held the A button while he was walking up around those pits. He didn't want to slip in a hole.
Yeah, something not too many people take advantage of. If you hold that button down, it's going to slow you down not only when you're walking, but when you're flying as well. So, and it's the floater!
Vanilla floater.
All right, well, vanilla floater in ice feels pretty good. We've got our canoe that gives us air travel for Mezada. And the problem is I mean, we haven't seen anything too deadly in here that would make me think that Twitch couldn't survive this.
Yeah, he's got to get out of here, though. Those Argoyles could pop up at any minute.
Like that?
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry.
Confirm this is your fault?
I'm so sorry. I told him, I was like, I would do my best to not commentary curse you today. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, he got away from that one. So the next one's on him. There it is. It's on him, not me.
I think that's on you, bro.
Mezada's walking his floater out. I mean, if you're Mezada, you know that you accidentally stepped in the hole. You didn't get the top left chest. You also did just find your floater. I think it's not too crazy to say we're gonna gamble that chest had nothing in it. Let's just leave.
Yeah, just get out of here and just remember that you skipped.
Mm-hmm. So Mezada is booking it. He should be flying, we'll say sub 35, depending on the fights he takes. TwitchNChilled is contemplating life and decides to leave Volcano. I think he's doing ice. You think he's ready for it?
I think he's ready for it. We didn't see anything too scary in there, and I didn't see if he got out with the ribbon and saved and tried to go back in and take a wipe. I saw him reset on a Sphinx.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to default to trusting the trackers on this one, and if it's unlit on the tracker, I got to think that he reset.
Yep. No, there was a split second where he was outside and I saw the ribbon still lit up. But yeah, we gotta thank our trackers. We got Danny and Braxis Muse out there picking up the stuff that
so you know what? We're 30 minutes in. Let's go ahead and give a recap to anyone that might have tuned in late. So here we are, Speed Gaming 2. It's the maiden voyage between Caleb and Falconic here on voice. We've got Danny 3883 and Braxis Muse tracking. Mezada, TwitchNChilled, week 5 of the spring tournament. They're both 1-3. The winner moves to 2-3 and gets one last chance to save their life in the tournament, in the last chance qualifier, which will take place a week from this Saturday, I believe. The other one, well, they go 1-4 and they get to play with the old men in the park over at Crescent Lake. Looks like we had, let's scroll up here for a second. We had Canoe from the King. Sarda gave us, or Sarah gave us the slab. Sarda just gave us the Oxyale. Marsh held the Ruby, which our runners, I think Twitch was the only one that went there, opted out of for now. Ribbon was loose in Volcano, and Ice Cave gave us Vanilla Floater, so Mezada flying around already. So the question is, Caleb, when you get an airship, and I say early, it's not early time-wise, but it's early progression-wise, the whole world opens up. Where do you go first?
I've developed a routine to check Crescent Lake if I haven't. Gaia, Lefane. Like I like checking towns. Sarda will be there. I know a lot of runners check Sarda first, but with these flags, I feel the need to check towns because, like Mezada did here in Melmond, he found level 2 magic in Provoca. Granted, he went to Melmond to find that, but Melmond's one of those cities that I check first. If dwarves or early progression is the boat, I'm checking Melmond before I check Elfland or Provoca because there's a fun little wraparound that you can do to hit both Provoca and Elfland as well as Crescent Lake on the other side of the continent. So just get out of that inner sea because there's only one way in and out of that, and it feels bad.
So level 2 had Exit for White Magic, Temper, Fire 3, and Zap. Bicky and his Buccaneers give us the Rod. What I like to do, if I've already seen Elfland and Crescent Lake, which our runners both have, and you've got the airship, you're right outside Melmond here. Check and see what Melmond is, which, Mezada's doing. If you fly straight up, I mean, absolute straight north from Melmond, it's going to land you right at Cardia Grassy, the westernmost Cardia Isle. And in these flags, we were talking about this earlier, I don't mind double dipping Cardia. I don't mind it one bit because you're going to be navigating this world a few times. You're going to fly over them again. It does not take long to go back when you have the tail. And I think with the 14 chests that you have there, especially with no gear or armor, I think it's a good check. So we'll see where he goes next.
Yep. And TwitchNChilled is back outside Crescent Lake. He's grinding them peds back up. And maybe he's... I think that Volcano spooked him, and he needs more levels. I don't know if he's going to go to ice first. I think he wants to dive Volcano, and I think he wants to light an orb, especially with the level 4 nuke. I think that's his plan to kill Carrie.
It would be a bold plan. We'll see if he's getting ready for that. Level 10, level 11, even with nuke. If nuke were level 3, maybe I'd feel a little bit more confident. But, I mean, it is Carrie. It could go either way. Twitch really needs a loose to be somewhere in Volcano, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lyra will be excited. Mezada just dug up the dragon sword. So, giant robot in.
Mezada so far has not found anything loose in the Cardi Isles, has picked up quite a bit of money. More money. And there's a loose. Crystal's our first loose item. Mezada picks it up almost immediately after getting his airship. Now watch this lead to tail, and he can go right back up in class change.
That would be really, really handy. I love an early promotion.
It's going to lead to the herb, which, I mean, technically is better. You really want to get your 12 key items.
Yeah, and that's vanilla, so not bad.
So Mezada's going to take that down. Twitch is resetting out. I like it. It's not a good fight to take for XP, not at this level anyways. So the real question right now is, where does Twitch go? Is he going back to Volcano with the Argoyle's first turn nuke? Or does he adjust and head over to Ice Cave?
We will find out after the Ocho. And Elf Prince gives us the TNT, so the fetch quest continues. And he's going to Ice. I
like the adjustment from Twitch. Volcano's already proven itself deadly. Ice Cave in its incentive. Mezada's got to feel really good though, because every key item he turns in, every fetch quest he does with this airship takes seconds to minutes tops. And he's starting to close in on that 150% bonus XP.
And it culminates with the cube, so you like to see that. Now, if I'm Mezada, I'm checking towns.
I agree. I think I would have done the town there. I think maybe he figured he's in the area and he didn't do marsh earlier. I can't blame this one, but towns are definitely my preferred method.
Yep, especially he's going north. He's not even going to go straight to the incentive item. He's going to full clear marsh. As Twitch is now on the second level of Ice Cave, diving a little deep.
So Mezada, chat pointing out, does have exit, which is going to make the marsh cave obviously much quicker to check. I think he's going to exit out and keep that Aegis, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, and definitely with the exit charge, it's a much nicer play. But knowing what's down here doesn't really feel that great to be. When Gaia could be Crescent Lake with more of that late game progression. Maybe it's the loot, maybe it's something you want to find something that can't just be anywhere, like the loot or the key.
Mezada picks up his Aegis shield. Something too that eventually Mezada and some of the newer runners will start to pick up on. You notice there Mezada entered a room and went straight up and then kind of diagonal to the chest. What you really want to do is hug the bottom.
Why is that falconic? For the people out there.
It's because hugging walls is it's fun. No, hugging the wall avoids encounters. Any room that you enter from the south, the bottom row of tiles adjacent to that door are going to be encounter free. So they do not advance your step counter. You could walk for days and days and days and never take a fight.
And we saw Twitch check that chest that Mezada missed on Ice 4, and it was the power stick. So no great loss there on Mezada.
Money at the very best, but even then we've seen plenty of money, so I don't think Mezada's going to sweat too much about that.
And Mezada runs from my least favorite enemy pack. It's a smart.
There's just no reason, I would imagine, to take it, but hey look, gargoyles. They're not quite Argoyles, but they start off with lit.
And I just realized that Twitch is only wearing 2 pieces of armor on between both of his fighters. So that might explain why he was taking such heavy hits all through Volcano. He didn't have any gear on those fighters.
Well, that would also explain his decision to actually go Volcano. I think he wants something more than what he has.
Yeah, I mean, but at that point, check the shops, look for chainmail, look for an iron armor.
Wizards with hold slow Mezada down just a little bit. He finds out it's the ruby. I get the feeling he's going to keep that ruby. Yeah, look at him. He's going to check the other chest here. There's the second katana. We have one more chest to check. It's 2 rooms up. If it's loose, oh, Twitch is going to be kicking himself. And it's just a soft. So no big deal.
I love the play by Twitch just walks right to the Frostwolf tile, doesn't check the other 4 first. Just, am I even going to get out of here? Just let me step on this spike tile, rip the band-aid off. Okay, we can get out of here. I can get these 6 chests.
So Mezada finds the cube, or not the cube, the ruby, but doesn't immediately go to Titan's Trove. Is that a play that you would recommend? Or, I mean, it's 4 chests. What are the chances they have something, right?
Yeah, and it's right there, and it cleans up your menu screen a little bit easier too for getting to those heal pots. But
so we have Vanilla Guy, and we have almost max price katanas.
That feels
so
good.
Those are getting sold.
Yeah.
And there you go. Pro rings for 8K. Slap those on all 4 characters. There's a chain if you really want to. Maybe you buy the steel to hold you over for now.
That steel is dirt cheap. I would definitely buy that.
I think I would agree, especially when you're only wearing a copper bracelet. I think that steel's looking pretty good.
Yeah, at least equip the cloth and the silver helmet. It's like 2 absorb, but hey, it's better than 0.
You know, with the money that he has, I would even say go ahead and buy the buckler for your red mage. There's just no reason not to.
Yeah. Yeah. So this must mean Lefane or Onrak is Crescent Lake while the other is Mel. So either way, he's going to get a key item check here. He's either going to turn in his slab or he's going to find out what the old men are having or how they're preparing for the party next week.
So look at Mezada. He burns a few encounters, and that tells me that he has a pretty good grasp on this encounter table as far as when fights are coming and where he wants to take them.
Yeah, it seems like there's a decent run in between the second and third encounter.
Lefane is Melmond. And like you said, although it's not the town we were hoping for, it's a town we need. And he translates the slab.
And if he gets back in his airship, all he has to do is basically fly due south, and he's in Provoca, which is Lefane, and he can get that other item and then wrap around the world to back in and turn that ruby in if he wants to finish his town checks and then fly back up for Onrak and Waterfall. And that's probably how I would route it, and then ordeals, and then start diving down.
So this feels pretty bad. Twitch didn't pick up Quad X on his Black Mage, and that eye seems to have rolled under 300. I know you don't want to do a grind. Well, he is doing a grind. This grind would have been a lot easier had he had Quad X's to throw out, but instead he's going to be doing Ice 3s and swinging. But I like the adjustment. I think it's a smart move to go ahead and pick up a level or 2 while you're here. Just don't spend too much time.
Yeah.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Is he going to go 2-man strats?
Either that or he's looking for a grind right now with 2-man. And I'm looking at his tracker, and you know what I'm not seeing, Caleb, is 12 key items.
Yeah.
So Mezada gets his slab translated. He's basically going on a world tour at this point with that airship. Twitch has the floater now, can start flying, but has decided that he wants to take a few eye fights here.
Yeah.
See how this pans out.
And it looks like he's going to Dan Pizza, his red mage, his only life caster. Maybe he just feels confident in what his fighter and black mage are capable of and walking out of here.
He doesn't have the ribbon from Volcano. We reset out of that. I think this just might be his response to not seeing anything deadly so far in Ice. Maybe he feels like he can safely walk this out.
Yeah, that has to be the play. I mean, he knows what he's doing. Like, this isn't his first seed, and he's just, Do you feel behind right now if you're Twitch? Is that what you think this might be in reaction?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But for anyone that knows me, my default state is I'm behind. Like, I just know I'm behind. So every move I make is more an adjustment to, okay, what did my opponent not do? Like, they clearly didn't see the marsh that I saw. So how am I going to make up ground somewhere else? So maybe that's what this grind is about. Maybe this is over preparation on Twitch's part.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe it'll come back to be a boon later. Having a few more levels might help him survive something nasty that Mezada runs into maybe here in Ordeals. We don't know yet because those gargoyles are going to be here too.
Yep. I was just about to say we saw glare from the Medusas, and compared to Argos with Nuke, glare's not so scary.
And this does look like it's going to be a 4-pillar. Oh, no, he got through it. Okay.
Mezada makes it through pretty quickly. TwitchNChilled has now healed up his red mage and put the black mage up top.
Yeah, I think he adjusted based on the life spell.
That's a smart move. 14 across the board. Twitch's levels certainly look good, but as he does this grind, he's not going anywhere in progression while Mezada continues on the Mezada World Tour.
Yeah, I would have left at 14. You have the floater, maybe you'll find the tail soon, and you can promote, and you can start getting spell charges on those fighters right away. But yeah, I don't like hitting 15 on a fighter if I don't have to. But Mezada picks up a defense sword, which is a good find.
And the power bonk. In 2 chests out of the 4 at lower left side of the last 4 of Ordeals, we pick up the defense sword and the power bonk. And our key item is the crown, so we're going to be paying the elf prince a little visit here soon. And I do believe, if I'm counting correctly, Mezada has officially hit 12 key items.
Yeah. Wow. I've never seen... I mean, apart from a loose being in Ordeals, like that much value, especially if this crown turns into something that's not...
Hey, Caleb. Guess who has Blaze?
Those cat-sized men.
Your favorite enemies?
Oh, double Soria. That's a good fight, though.
This is a great fight, and Mezada's taking it, which just continues to let us know that he's been doing his homework. He knows the fights that are worthwhile.
Yeah, those green Agamas, man.
So nice. Green Agamas. For anyone that's watching that is kind of new to the randomizer, and maybe they're curious as to why we were saying that the idea for Twitch and his grind here is not such a good one. Just kind of pointing out what we're seeing live in this match. Twitch is spending, he's been here 6, 7, 8 minutes now, and he's level 14 across the board, and that's great. Things feel good. You feel safe. Mezada, meanwhile, didn't stop to do a grind, has traveled the world, picked up his key items, and now, because he's got over 12, he's unlocked the 150% XP boost, and he's level 13. So in the same time, he's almost the same level now. He's going to pass him soon, and he's got so much more exploration done. So TwitchNChilled, I like the play. It's a play that if you go back and watch last year's spring tournament, I've raced in 5 races. I did the same thing all 5 weeks. So it's certainly something that you do as a newer player. And I think he'll make the adjustment next time, but the grind here without the key items just isn't going to pay off, I don't think, as much as Twitch hopes it will.
And Mezada, on the heels of the high XP fights, he runs from the double Frost Gator red carry.
Boo.
Womp womp.
There's our vendor item.
Gotta love when you find the vendor item and you can afford it right away.
So 28k. Keep in mind, too, gold bracelets were for sale over in Canaria, and they were not expensive at all. So any money whatsoever, and we could really start to gear up our mages.
Absolutely. And we saw the cheap pro rings, too. I think that was in Gaia. So here are the confused old men that our 1 in 4 runners are going to be joining after week 5. And he takes the bottle from them. They're going to react poorly to that. They were planning a party, Mezada, and now you just took their booze. It's unacceptable.
Well, that's why they were walking in circles, obviously.
They were setting up the party.
All right, so we've got the chime purchased. Mezada, I think, without a doubt, has to be doing waterfall while you're here. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a reason not to.
You're not level 5. Just get in there and get it done.
Now that I think about it, with the old men in the park, they've got the bottle. It's got a fairy, and it's almost like a worm at the bottom of tequila.
Please don't eat the tiny fairy.
Just don't eat the tiny fairy. Who knows what could happen to you if you do. We're not responsible, certainly. So Twitch makes it out with his floater and his levels. Maybe he steps on it and can find some way to take advantage.
I want to say he might go back into Volcano and clear it out, and he might start trying to clear out dungeons as he gets those keys.
It would be a gamble, and certainly one that maybe somebody who feels behind might make. I think, obviously, we're all rooting for him to just get the airship and start checking towns and unlock new locations, but...
We have a question in chat from Max Plus Pi. Mezada has turned in the slab. He has not gone back to Lefane, which was in the original Provoca location, to see what the Lefinians were holding on.
So TwitchNChilled is making his way down to the Rayacon Desert. He's going to pick up his airship soon. Meanwhile, Mezada has already flown through the waterfall and is at the trap tile. We're going to find out what's in the chests as well as what the robot has for us. And it's a ribbon, so we know that if we find one loose, we didn't get a loose ribbon as one of our incentives.
Yep, that volcano ribbon is now confirmed to be free.
Not much of anything. So today, waterfall not required. But ribbon pickup, and Mezada knows where he can pick up a second one. Starts to feel really good. We've already seen wall as well, and we have the white mage to learn it. I think 2 ribbons is enough to feel good. I don't know that you necessarily need to find the third one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a shame that they took the one fashion accessory off the robot, but you know, you gotta do what you...
This is a pretty robot.
I mean, it brought out his eyes. What can I say?
Time to find out what the crown gives, and then I think it makes sense if Mezada remembers that there's the loot required item. Does Mezada head over to Provoke after this?
I hope so, because it would be, I mean, I know I kind of described how I would route this a little differently, but he's just doing it backwards from how I described it. So if he goes from here to check Provoca with the Lefinians, he can then just go straight south, clear out the volcano. He's got the rod, he's got Chime and Cube, he's got the Oxiale. He's ready to start clearing dungeons. So that's what I would be doing right now if I were.
I don't know if you caught that. Mezada not only presented the elf prince with the crown, then he beat him up, and then on top of that, he stomped on his throne.
In my mind, it was, and there's the key. So yeah, at 54 minutes, Mezada just hit go mode. As we know, the loose adamant will turn into a...
That feels pretty good. Go mode in less than an hour, and now it's all about where do you want to go and where do you want your levels.
Yep, this is turning out to be a jet seat for Mezada for sure.
The armor for Twitch's knight, well, one of his knights, still feels pretty bad, but I like the gold bracelet pickup. We still... Oh, there's the loose tail.
Okay, right. So Max Plus Pi bring up, I did forget about the boat. So, yeah, this is...
Right.
RNG's coming, everything's coming up Mezada.
So interesting here. So we're gonna have, So ship's the only thing left on the table. Then is that correct?
Yep. And so the bottle turn-in will lead to the adamant.
Yeah. Which will lead 2 ships, so not required. So Mezada hopefully has pieced that together. Really, the only thing we're looking for now for Mezada is an endgame weapon. We need something better than that defense sword to swing.
You have power bonk. We have access to fast. I mean, do you?
Yeah. I mean, you could take an ice sword in there. I mean, we've seen Minochi in races past He's taken on Chaos with an iron hammer before, so certainly
wow.
anything can happen with it.
Mezada just picked up a white shirt. I think, I mean, I don't think he would feel behind at this point, but in my mind, he's got everything that he needs to take out Topher, or at least experiment down there, like short of levels. He goes into Volcano, he picks up that second ribbon, he promotes, he'll have 2 life casters, so yeah.
So, I know I borrow a lot of terms from boxing. I'm a pretty big boxing fan. Learning to play FFR, getting good at FFR, I guess you could apply this to any game or any randomizer, but to me, it fits well with the boxing term of line, speed, beauty. Line, you learn the game, you learn locations, you learn what items do and don't do. Speed, you learn how to do it quickly, and beauty is when you put the two together, where you do things so well, so quickly that it just looks natural to you. And it looks like Mezada is already starting to make his way towards that route of, okay, clearly he knows the game. Clearly he's got some experience with it. Now he's starting to show that he knows the fights that he wants to take. He's got routing down pretty well. I think even at 1 and 3, it might sound crazy, but he's someone that I would keep an eye on because I just don't trust him, right? I think he's sharking us.
Maybe you think he's sandbagging?
Yeah, I think that's the case. Oh, he just magically lucked into the last chance qualifier if he wins today, and then he somehow makes his way to the bracket. I'm not buying it, Caleb.
Well, as somebody that's hoping to end up in that last chance qualifier, I'm not excited to see Mezada going there if he finishes this race ahead of Twitch. And he did find the Sun Sword and the Bane Sword in that Dwarven Armory. So, yeah, I think it's time to go. You check the free chests along the way and hope that Xcal or Massa or the Vorpal land in some of those free chests. But yeah, I feel good with this gear.
Yeah, finding this Sun Sword to me qualifies as an endgame weapon. That's perfectly fine when you have tempers and power bonks. But we just also threw in Will's favorite sword. Second favorite, the Bane sword. I think we're good.
Yeah, and you never know, you might get that first round Bane sword pull on Chaos, and you know,
doesn't happen.
Then who even needs weapons at that point?
All right, so Twitch is in the air. He's doing the cardia check. He's not out of this race. I know it certainly looks like on the tracker this is one-sided, and so far it has been. But there are still so many things that can ruin Mezada's day, not the least of which happens to be right here in Volcano, which is where he's at.
Yep. And it's not, and I wouldn't even say it's really been one-sided. It's just that Twitch made an early gamble into both Volcano and Marsh, and they didn't pay off. So, like, when you're 1 and 3 and you're fighting to stay alive in this tournament, you got to make gambles, and right now they haven't really broke for Twitch, which is unfortunate. But you never know, something might come up. Maybe this is like my race last week with Lynn the Cat, and Twitch checks the chest and finds the Masa, and
sure.
that's the difference between the two parties at the end.
Well, to Twitch's credit, he's through the thick of it, right? He's muddied up. He made some gambles that didn't pay off, but at the 1 hour mark, I wouldn't be surprised in about 15 to 20 minutes if his tracker is lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yep, and Mezada has had enough of these gargoyles, and he nukes them back.
So Mezada knows where the Opal Shield is. More importantly, he knows the ribbon is right next door. He's got exit. He's going to grab this ribbon. More than likely, is he going to walk it out or is he going to exit?
I think he's just going to keep walking down to carry.
Well, it's actually a longer walk from here than if he were to just reset, or not reset, but exit save and come back in on the lava tiles.
He hasn't checked the cluster of chests, though.
Oh, well then he certainly has to.
Because he walked away before checking them and on his first armory check. So I would imagine he's going to check these chests for sure.
TwitchNChilled picks up his cube. You can see him taking notes right now. Either that or he's just really impressed with the dancing skills of Narek.
ETAP is asking in chat if he's trying to remember where Provoca was, and Provoca was located at Melmond. Crescent Lake was Elfland.
So armory check here for Mezada. If I recall correctly, there just wasn't a whole bunch of anything here.
I think there was a couple caster items and some decent early game.
Twitch about to pick up his Oxyel from Sarda. Light Axe was good. Pro Ring, which we can buy pretty cheap. And exit and save. I like it.
Yep.
Still have not seen a Titans check here. Twitch knows where the ruby is bypassing Melmond. Yeah, Melmond, which is Provoker. That's interesting.
Yep. He's gonna check. He's gonna do the waterfall.
Okay. Well, he's knocking out on-rack as well. He's gonna find his vendor item.
And he's gonna get the Mystic Key here too. So, oh, I'm sorry. He's gonna get the bottle.
Mm-hmm. Can just barely afford that chime, but he does purchase it. Mezada making his way further down Volcano. We're about to start checking some of the chests here on the Agama floor, as it were. And this is what I really like about the way Mezada's played this. He's hitting up Volcano. He's got decent swords. He's already class changed. If he wanted to, with the 12 key items, he could not heal up those white and black mages and take an Agama grind for a little bit if he really feels behind.
Yeah, and he's orphaning chests, so he's definitely just checking the stuff that's along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him taking an Agama grind here. I think he wants to be done.
He is not checking any. He's not checking the top one, so no Agamas for him. And I don't blame him. With the 150% bonus XP, you pretty much know that you're probably just going to take a lot of fights in Sky and Sea, and it's going to give you all the levels you need.
Absolutely. And he even skips the red D chest, so we're about to see our first Fiend pull here at the hour 3.
So we're going to start off fasting the knight that has the Sun Sword, fades and nukes. I love it. Just all-out offense. With the flag percents that they're at now here, carry just isn't too scary. Not when you have this many levels and the spell charges that he has.
That was a beautiful rhyme that you made.
I didn't even notice it if I did.
He said carry's not that scary. That was very sweet.
Nukes go out 278. Carry decides that Mez needs to take a nap. Nuke goes out for 103. We're swinging with a power bonk Sun Sword that's been fasted for 88 damage. Somewhere is crying in a corner.
Is he? It looked like he's swinging the defense sword.
Whap whap.
But that hit took her down. 300. That's pretty good.
All right, well, get that defense sword out of the hands, because that is certainly not used for swinging, sir. But 104, we'll call it 35. We have our first orb lit from Mezada. TwitchNChilled is in the waterfall. Is going to be picking up, I believe it was Bottle here. Is that correct?
It was the ribbon. He got the bottle from the old men.
So ribbon feels good, right? But I think you wanted something else here if you're Twitch.
Absolutely, especially because he already knows where one ribbon is. It's good information, and it helps with the overall survivability of your group, but it's not what you want to find here. But then again, he's also got all of his dungeon items. He's got the rod to clear Earth, he's got the Oxyel to get into sea, and he's got the chime and the cube. So I think once he walks out of here, he might do his slab turn in, and then go talk to the Lefinians, get that key, and he'll be good to go once he gets the crown and does the Astos bit. Which he has to go to Ordeals to get the crown.
Yep. Has to do Ordeals. He's going to find... I mean, it's going to pay off very well. He's going to get the defense sword and the power bonk, plus the key item. But he just has to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe makes up some time if he chooses better pillars, but Mezada made it through Ordeals pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think the only way Twitch is going to catch up or make up time now other than like a Topher wipe,
Mhm.
is going to be the pathing through sea, sky, and earth. If Twitch gets a better encounter table or just better RNG, isn't checking chests, I don't see too much of an opportunity for him to catch up too much right now.
So Mezada enters Sea Shrine in full go mode. We already know he knows he's in go mode because he skipped stuff in Volcano. So this one should be pretty quick, but instantly runs into unrunnable lobsters and sea trolls.
If you're TwitchNChilled and you're feeling behind here, do you start to consider danning that second fighter, possibly the Black Mage, and just running the 2-man strat?
Personally, absolutely. You will never find me running a 4-man party. It just won't happen. Not on flags like this. I think in his case, the gear you found so far, the magic being the way it is, I think one of those knights really needs to take a nap right about now. I would also consider dropping the red mage too, if I'm in his spot, because I do feel behind. And I think that I would go fighter black belt or fighter black mage, at least for a little while. Maybe res them up before, sky or sea to get them some free levels. But I think you make an adjustment to the party.
And Mezada's just hitting encounter after encounter. He's still on that first floor of Sea Shrine. It looked like he reset out and came back in, but he still hasn't really made that much progress while Twitch has completed the waterfall and he's almost back to his air.
Yeah, like I said, we were at about, I think we said right at the 1 hour mark, Twitch had about 3 items lit up on his tracker. We're not even 10 minutes past that, and look at the progress he's made. He's really going to start to catch the tracker gap. He's going to close it here pretty quickly. So if Mezada gets hung up on a floor like this, if he spends too much time dirtling around like Fizzle likes to call it, Twitch is going to come right back into this match. Uh-oh. Map check. Everyone get your drink out.
The world map can be confusing, man. If it's been a while since you played the vanilla game, I mean, I get lost every now and then. Then again, I'm new to the game too, or new to the randomizer, but yeah.
Oh, sure. It's a tradition around here to drink your favorite glass of milk anytime you see a map check. So sometimes you'll see a few of us just pop the map up just because we know it's going to encourage our viewers to intake some vitamin D.
I have a glass of water, so I took some of that.
I also got my water from the store.
I got my water from the sink. This is really exciting color commentary, folks.
So TwitchNChilled making his way over to Ordeals. Ordeals had the crown. The crown led to Astos, which gave us the loot, which, pretty key item. But there's Catman doing what Catman do and ruining Twitch's day.
Catman do. Solid pun. He's also, like we said before, he's also going to get his power bonk and his defense sword. So solid value there for sure.
All right, and he runs into instant reset.
Yep, and we got some love for staying hydrated in chat. I can respect it. Drink water.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mezada steps away from Kraken's floor, and this is the advantage of being in go mode, is that the Fiend dungeons don't take very long at all. You can pretty much knock out all 4 of them within a 20-minute period if you really put your foot to the pedal.
Absolutely.
TwitchNChilled making his way through, runs into Argoyles.
Oh no, run away.
And I believe he is about to make his way through and find the staircase coming up right about now. So Twitch is through. Mezada is in yet another unrunnable pack here. That Black Mage is down on one knee, but I believe he's going to get out of this.
Yeah, I think he took a hard power cycle before he walked in here. So if Twitch doesn't do that, he'll be coming in here on a different encounter table and could see a friendlier Sea Shrine, because it hasn't really been a struggle for Mezada. It's just taken way longer than it should have.
That's one of those moves that, unfortunately, you just don't know is the right one until after you make it, right?
Yeah.
Mezada resets, and you always want to find out what's off the power reset, but we've seen so far from Mezada, it's gross. It's really gross in Sea Shrine. Twitch is about to become a lot happier after he picks up the defense sword and finds the power bonk.
Mezada's okay. At least this one's runnable. So his red wizard is down now. Hey, we got Lyra in chat. Lyra, you'll be excited to know that both of our runners have found the dragon sword, and on TwitchNChilled side, he's got me equipped.
He's actually swinging the dragon sword, which is pretty impressive.
I'm secretly the
nice
green
color. Are you?
in this party, even though I'm a red fighter.
Alright, more lobsters for Mezada. TwitchNChilled continues to light up that tracker like nobody's business. Is starting to close the gap here, and then he runs into Catman.
But he's out. That's a reset. So if he has a better Sea Shrine, he can make up a few minutes here for sure.
He certainly can. So he's going to have to go turn in the crown. He's going to get his loot. Tail was loose, I believe, so that pretty much puts us in go mode for him just about.
Yep. And if he checks the key lock chests, he'll get his tail too. That was in the Canaria Armory, as Mezada's going with Bane strats on crack.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't know that. Didn't we see Brack already though?
He was using the Bane sword for it. So, and no poison smoke. Kraken just becomes sashimi.
Sashimi. One of those words that I'll try saying it 10 times and mess up 9.
You got it right the first time that time, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to try it anymore.
Go ahead and retire it.
Mezada lights his second orb just past the 1 hour 13 minute mark. TwitchNChilled, though, is on a tear. This has now become the Twitch World Tour as he starts to light up all of his key items. It's really going to come down to how quickly can Twitch, A, realize that he's in go mode, but B, what is the comfortability level gear-wise that's going to allow him to step on it and start to close this gap on Mezada.
Yeah, and I did have a small concern. He knows where the Aegis shield is. He knows that it's in Marsh. I hope that he doesn't go out of his way to go back and get that, because Mezada picked up the Aegis as he went through Marsh at a higher level. So he was able to get in there and get out with.
And we have an Earth Cave check. Well, we had an Earth Cave check, but he reset. I think out of just pure instinct, has to fly his way back down. But Mezada going Earth Cave, and I certainly don't mind this at all. He's not going to check chests along the way. This is going to be a go mode Earth Cave, which always feels really, really good.
Yep. Question in chat, is this a 1 in 3 match? Yes, this is. The winner of this match moves on to the last chance qualifier, while the person that comes in second place, they get to go to Crescent Lake and party with the old men and their bottle in this.
Well, it would have been great, but we stole the bottle. So
we went to fill it up. We'll bring it back.
Just a bunch of old men in the park doing yoga at this point.
They're setting up streamers and tables and chairs. There's going to be at least 10 to 15 people in that party next weekend.
Well, sign me up. I think at the very least, I'd like to see what kind of shenanigans go on. I get the feeling I'm probably going to be in that play-in race coming up at 3 and 2, unless just something weird and strange happens. So hopefully we'll see somebody from the play-in race really surprise. My hope is that one of the 2 and 3s from the last chance qualifier not only makes it to the play-in race, but gets through it. I'd love to see a 2 and 3 make it to the brackets.
Me too. I want that 2 and 3 to be me, but I need to be 2 and 3 first.
So you were actually, while we're kind of playing a little catch up here on Twitch's side, and Mezada's making his way through everyone's favorite cave. you were in a pretty interesting position earlier this week. You actually got a practice run against your week 5 opponent. How'd that go for you?
It was a 3-way race with Rumblefish and Gregory Puff and myself. And Gregory Puff beat us both, and then I came in second. The thing there that deflates my confidence a little bit is that I posted a seed in the Discord that I ran I ran this morning or yesterday or something. They all run together eventually, Falconic. And Rumblefish beat the seed about 15-20 minutes faster than I did. So Rumblefish and I, it's gonna be a show for sure. So
I was just about to ask. I saw that earlier today, and I was like, I bet you he was feeling really good after that race the other day, and I bet you now he doesn't feel as good.
That would be correct. Which is why I've been trying to get as many practices in as possible.
So TwitchNChilled is going to take his adamant, and he's going to turn it over, and hey, well, we have a ship.
Yep, so he completed the bottle quest. He just needs to go to Lefane. Actually, did he didn't check Melmont, so he hasn't done the slab turn-in yet.
Yep, not yet. He unfortunately went straight from Sarda and just bypassed Melman, which was Provoca. And yeah.
He's going.
That's where we stand.
He's going there right now, so alright. Not orphaning that town. He might have been gambling that the adamant would turn into that key, but
so he's gonna find Melmond. I don't recall the spells that were here, but it's certainly an area he needed to cross off.
I remember level 5 being loaded, so
well, life 2 is pretty good. Heal 3. Can't complain. Meanwhile, Mezada, 1 hour 18 minute mark, is just on a tear through these Fiend dungeons. He's already at Lich's floor.
Yep. And he's gonna just, I don't know, if you're in Mezada's shoes, do you check anything in Sky Mirage?
Yes, certainly Sky. But the reason I say that is because Sky is loaded with a lot of fights that have 4 or less enemies that yield a lot of XP. So it's not like C where you're fighting a screen full of enemies, you have to use AoE casts on them. Sky's got a lot of fights where you can just swing and get your way out, and the XP there will set you up for Topher very, very well. So while I don't really think he needs the gear anymore, I'm sure Maz is great, Vorpal's great, Excalibur could be great. It's more just anything you find as bonus aside from the levels that you're getting along the way.
So which chests are you checking then?
So I would do Mirage 1. I'd skip Mirage 2, greater than less than. It's too far of a walk. I would skip Sky 3. Sky 1. I would probably skip. Sky 2, you certainly skip because it's a star floor. I think Sky 3 is really where you make your gamble. Take your fights along the way, but dig that floor out because there's so many chests.
Yeah, that's usually what I've been doing when I've been go moding Sky, still hoping for a little bit better. Feels good to know that my instincts are matching that of a veteran runner like yourself. Pats me on the back.
It's just one of those things. Like we said earlier, and you'll hear this almost every race. It's one thing to know you're in go mode. It's one thing to know the game and what's required to beat it. But once you get past that level of understanding, the next hurdle, the next brick wall that runners usually find themselves running into time and time again, is determining what their comfortability level is, right? It's going to be different from other runners. So whatever you see Edgeworth do, whenever he's comfortable diving Topher or Minochi or Wilkliosis, not necessarily going to be when you feel comfortable. And it's all about you being able to pull the seed off in your favor. So the question really becomes is where does Mezada check? Maybe he does a full clear Sky because he wants, 8 or 9 levels out of here. We're going to find out.
I'm curious what TwitchNChilled is grinding for here outside of Melmond. Did he not have enough magic or money for magic? Is that what he... Because he's taking fights outside of Lefane.
I mean, it's gotta be for magic because essentially this is just one big continent of a pop grind. But I think, he's not going 10k for life 2, is he?
I hope not. But Mezada did just find the dragon armor on Mirage 1, so that feels good.
Yeah. Chat asking, is he looking for a weapon? I think he's looking for levels, and anything he finds in a chest is just bonus. So this is a good fight for Mezada, but Twitch, though, yeah, it had to have been for purchasing. But did he spend any money when he went back into Melmond? I didn't catch it.
I don't think so. He might have had enough for one purchase of life too, but he kind of minuted through it a little quickly. But yeah, I think this is going to come back to Twitch's grind on the eye and the struggles that he had outside of Crescent and in the Vulcan.
Yeah, it's certainly not that Twitch played this the wrong way. It's just the way that he played it didn't work out in his favor this seed. I liked his early marsh. I think it was bold to go in as low as he did. And this seed, it was the Ruby, but in any other seed, it could have been the floater, and he's the one in the lead right now.
Yeah. Yep. It's just one of those things where the game breaks the other way, and everything came up Mezada early. But he's going to find his tail here, so that's going to be one more thing, and he'll get to equip some of that the nicer gear that he's found for.
So he's got to know by now he's in go mode. He's, like you said, he's going to appreciate the tail. Now the question is enough? The gear that you have, are you comfortable with it to just absolute go? Because if Twitch puts his foot to the pedal right now and doesn't check a single chest going forward, he stands a chance. I won't say he will, but he stands a chance of catching Mezada with a nasty Topher.
Yeah. But with a nasty Topher, Mezada's a little bit better prepared for it with the gear that he has.
Not to mention, it does look like Mezada is taking some of these fights here. I kind of agree running from the Naga in the air. They usually roll high health, and it's just not worth the time investment.
He's going to check Sky 1 right side.
It's not bad. The thing I don't like about this floor, while there are certainly decent amount of chests, the encounters here kind of suck, except for the random eye that can pop up.
Yep. And Twitch is going to check Keylock Temple of Fiends, something Mezada did not check.
Maybe the Mazza, right?
Yeah, and with both those fighters, maybe Massa, maybe Excal, Warp, Heal Pot,
maybe a Heal Pot. It's the legendary Heal Pot.
Yep, hold on to that one. Don't drink that.
Okay, Mezada skips the star floor. I think that's a fantastic decision. And like we said we would do, he's checking this floor and taking fights against Whizvamps, which are going to give a lot of XP.
Yep, I don't mind killing a single Whizvamp. I don't mind killing more of them, especially when they only have about 200 HP.
They deserved it. So 6 chests here. What's he going to find? A little bit of money, some more money, even more money. Hey, there's a Brocate, 1 of 3.
Another gamble breaks against Twitch.
2 Procates, I think it is actually. 3 Pro Rings.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah. He doesn't go north. He goes straight to the free chest. There's the game changer. Talk about an endgame weapon.
Yeah.
And what's he do? Don't you put it on that red mage. Don't do it. Sir? Sir? Oh, attaboy. No, sir, you forgot to put the E next to it.
He'll equip it when he needs to.
He needs to do it right now.
While not fully on Team Vorpal, I understand it. I see its value.
Look at the game changers going out in chat there. TwitchNChilled. Here's a fun little fact. When you're in the Dwarf Cave here and you're going down that split, it's like an extra 3 or 4 tiles to go left. So never go left. Always go right. Even walking around Narek. It might feel like it's longer. It's not. Always go right. TwitchNChilled is making a full clear of the Keylock chest, and I certainly don't hate this move.
I hope he doesn't go to Marsh. just wrap it up. Maybe he'll go to Elfland. Elfland, I think, had the white shirt, so that'll be a solid check. But stop.
Question in chat. What's the pro and con of the Vorpal? That's actually very, very simple. Let's start with the cons. The cons are it's basically a silver sword as far as damage goes. So outright, not very good.
Bridge of Destiny.
Get your Bless RNGs out for that. The pros real quick. Super, super high crit rate. Highest in the game, actually. Tied with Katana. So while the swings don't really do that much, the crits do. And if you run into a boss with high absorb, which is often the case, it's going to more reliably get you the hits out that you need to get that boss down. But this tournament has lower boss percent flags, so silly swords like the Mazmoon tend to be adequate enough. That's going to change, though, in the upcoming co-op tournament, by the way.
Good to know. So tell me more about this co-op tournament. Well, actually, Mezada's getting ready to pull Tiamat 1, so let's see how this fight goes before we get into co-op.
So we saw Bane Swords going off on Kraken. I'm curious to see, and there's a fast from Tiamat. That's not what you want to see right off the bat. Bane Sword goes out from Raven, does not land. Fast over to Yoi the Knight. Fade for 109, pretty low roll. What do we do now? Bane Swords, I like the adjustment. Don't be deterred by the fast, just throw those Banes out. Nuke for 108. These are really low rolls for him. Fade for 116.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So is that something Tiamat that's in the randomizer? Maybe he rolled high MDef? Is that something that can...
It also could just be bad RNG from it, because you could have resistances to it, but with Nuke doesn't really care about resistances. It's non-elemental. I think he's just getting some pretty bad rolls here because we're not tossing anything else out. The Bane Sword not landing, Fade's non-elemental. If we could see something like a Lit 3 or a Ice 3 get thrown out, which we never would, we can start to kind of establish what the MDef is. Fade's rolling 160. I mean, it was enough to chip away eventually, and just like that, at 128, and we'll say just shy of 30 seconds. Mezada's got all 4 orbs lit.
Yep, here we go. And TwitchNChilled is doing a little inventory management. So while Mezada is doing his last minute preparations for Topher, and Twitch is getting ready for, I would imagine, the beginning of his Fiend dives, why don't you tell the folks in the chat a little bit more about the co-op tournament?
So co-op tournament is kind of a response to those like myself that, while we certainly enjoy spring tournaments and fall leagues, we want something a little bit more challenging. And what better way to tackle a challenging seed than with a partner? So Meridian BC, one of our lead developers, has created a mode that is totally unique to Final Fantasy Randomizer. There are other games out there that have co-op mode, but it's sharing of information, right? It's 2 people playing the seed at the same time and saying, here's what I found here, you should go get it. In ours, it's completely different. It is fully networked. It's a networked Nintendo game, if you can believe it. If Caleb and I are on a team, and Caleb goes up to, let's say Volcano, and he digs out a loose tail, in about 10 seconds later, on my screen, on my game, it's going to say along the top of my screen, Caleb has located the tail, and it's going to put that tail in my inventory. So it's going to be a blast to see how 2 people tackle a tougher seed with higher percent enemies, higher percent bosses against another team of 2. And we're going to be doing that exhibition match for that to show off the flags. Actually coming up a week from Friday, March 17th. It's going to be on Randomania. Randomania 1, I believe we've already secured that slot. The time is TBD, but I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it and look forward to it. But as I'm blabbering on, Mezada has entered Temple of Fiends Revisited at the 1 hour, 30 minute mark. TwitchNChilled, though, no orbs lit yet. It's feeling pretty dire.
Yep, so I think that was a quick thing for the summary on the co-op. The only thing I would correct is it's May 17th.
Yay, that's
not
March.
March.
Yay, that's what.
We wouldn't be
Maybe
trying
I
to
did.
get you guys hyped for something 10 months from now.
Maybe it is 10 months away. Maybe we're just going to build up hype slowly and over time. Yeah, May 17th, a week from this Friday. Twitched is back in the volcano of death. Mezada, did he power reset when he came in here? Because it looks like he's running into a chunky part of the encounter table.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Ice 3's coming out against the R Giants. Not bad. I wonder if we're going to see a validation check here from Mezada, and is that possibly where the Mazmoon landed?
I don't know. He skipped a lot. He skipped half of C and half of Sky. Like, I don't... Yeah.
So Mezada makes his way past the loot block. TwitchNChilled, meanwhile, checking a few of the chests here in Volcano. Gonna check the Agma trap tile here. Maybe he wants to see if they're grindable.
Yeah, I think this was just a misstep on his part. I think he just lined up his pathing on the wrong.
So I like the levels of Twitch's Knight. I wish he were swinging a better sword than the defense to make up for the or to make use to those levels. And what is Mezada doing? Is he fishing encounters?
That's what it looks like.
On the top of the first floor, and he's spending fades. This, to me, seems like Mezada's not happy with his levels and is grinding, but sir, this is not the floor to grind on.
I think he's grinding to 22 for the night to get that extra hit with the Vorpal.
Okay, so typically, just to kind of fill in, there are basically two floors in Topher where grinds are certainly viable. My favorite happens to be the Earth floor, which you can access from if you enter Topher, go down and left. There's actually a staircase that takes you right to the Earth floor. Green Medusas are there in plenty of numbers. Or you could go a few floors to the right and fight you some Gasties if you can find them. The problem with that floor is that, you know, bad men happen to also live there and come in packs of 9.
And it looks like TwitchNChilled is setting up an Agama grind with his Black Mage or Black Wizard in the front.
Do you think at this point Twitch assumes that his opponent hasn't finished yet? Maybe Endgame is nasty, so this is a kind of a preparation for that?
Maybe. Of course, I don't like grinding like this before I've lit an orb.
Right.
I feel like you could do this. You could 3-man Sky with this, but yeah, I think he might be a little tilted right now with a lot of the frustration he's seen in the early game.
Yeah, it's rough to play a seed like this where you make such a, I would say, a bold gamble because of the levels he went into Marsh with, and it just didn't pay off. And then to make the decision, okay, well, that's fine, you know, shake that off. Let's go jump in Volcano and see if we can dig out something great there. And then, you know, nuke Gargoyles puts an end to that. It kind of tilts you early, and it's hard to recover from that. So Fade's coming off against the Badman. This is why I really don't like this floor. Sure, they give decent XP, but the time it takes to get them down, you're really hoping for Gasties here on Mezada's side.
And he's got 23 on the night, and he's still grinding levels. I wonder if he's just trying to get spell charges now for his...
Spell charges would make the most sense, because if he's swinging the Vorpal, which I hope he is, he's not going to get... Nope, he's swinging the... Looks like defense sword still, or unless he moved the sun over. It's going to be a while. I think he's got to get to 32 for a meaningful swing on the Vorpal.
Right, but he was under 22 when he came in here with the Knight, so that's why I assumed that he was going to 22 for the Vorpal.
He's got spell charges at 23 if he can gain another level, every odd level. I don't know. We talked about this a few times now. It seems to me like maybe Mezada hasn't quite reached that line of comfortability level-wise to make his dive.
And I actually wonder if that's the same thing that TwitchNChilled was doing, is grinding up his 2 fighters or his 2 knights to get those spell charges on them to make his quality of life through the other Fiend dungeons a little easier.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah, it's definitely something we're going to ask him about in the post game. These late game grinds for sure.
It's at least good to see Twitch he's made up his mind and he's doing something. Sometimes you can watch somebody that had a rough early game like he did, and they're just spinning their wheels. They're checking here, they're doing this, they're killing people, then they're rezzing them. He seems to have made up his mind. I want these 2 guys to have levels, and he's working towards that goal, which is, I mean, it's great to see. Whether you agree with it or not doesn't matter.
Yeah,
he's doing something, and that's always better than just spinning wheels.
Yep, he's running his race. I got respect for that. But the thing with Mezada's late game grind, I would have tried to see how far into Topher I could go with the party before I do it. It felt like a preemptive adjustment, which, could work out in his favor too.
That's something that I and a lot of other runners have picked up on from Minochi. We call him the Buzzsaw. If you've watched any of his races, he's the type of guy that, obviously memes aside, he sells endgame armor early for money. He does weird stuff, but the one thing he does really well is he has absolutely no fear. I think you typically see the meta being entering Topher around 20 to 24. But it's not surprising to see somebody like Minochi go in with a party hovering around 17. And it's just for that reason. Just, hey, let's see how far I can get and then make adjustments. And on the off chance Topher's weak, that person that dove at 17 just beats you.
Yep, that's fortune favors the bold.
So Mezada gets a juicy Green Medusa fight here. TwitchNChilled, well, he's making sure that the world doesn't have too many Agmas left in it. He's doing that Agma grind.
And these Green Medusas aren't as scary as we've seen in the past.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, Caleb. Green Medusas deadly? That could never happen.
Yeah, they're usually so squishy. They have like 70 HP, and you just hit them with the mage staff, and they all die. That's how that's supposed to work.
What's the big deal? You just throw a mage staff at them.
And we have our toaster strudel on Mezada's side.
That is now my favorite nickname for Lich 2.
He's got those little swirlies, and it's just like somebody shoved a skeleton into a toaster strudel.
So the toaster strudel is getting some evasion up on his enemies, tosses out a fire 3, which is kind of like vanilla nuke, only not so much at all.
Bench of the toaster, man.
A little bit of respect being given here by Mezada with a power bonk instead of just swinging right away, but that is... Did we eat the toaster strudel?
It was cleft in twain by that defense sword.
So Mezada moves on to Carry 2's floor, runs into 4 of TwitchNChilled's favorite enemies, and is taking it.
Question in chat, what flavor of toaster strudel is Lich? I agree with Lyra SL. It is wild berry with a skeleton in it.
You guys might want to mark the date down. Where were you when Lich 2 was given the most appropriate nickname? Well, I was right here in the booth with Caleb. You were watching week 5 of the spring tournament as Mezada at 1-3 takes on TwitchNChilled at 1-3. The winner moves on. The loser goes to the park with the old men whose bottle we stole earlier, so now they're just setting up for a party that won't have any kind of fun. And we are Thor hammering and ice 2ing some Agamas. And down on Black Mage.
This is a strange fight to take.
I mean, it's going to be good XP, but is it worth it?
Because I don't think TwitchNChilled has seen the stun touch on them either.
So Twitch looks like he's rearranging. He's putting the ribbon on. I think it's about time to go. Does he check the red D chest?
No. Good for him. Let's get out of here. Let's kill that Fiend of Fire, and let's move on.
Well, one thing is for certain, Twitch looks as if he's not going to be swept with the 4 orbs to none. And if Mezada doesn't step on it, Twitch is going to start lighting some orbs here in rapid succession.
Yep,
I know it looks like it's crazy out of balance here, but Twitch could have all 4 orbs lit before the 2-hour mark.
Absolutely. Well before then. It's good. I think it's going to come down to his encounter table as he goes through Sea Shrine. If he hard power cycles before it, he's going to see the same grind that Mezada did.
Uh-oh. 4 hits, less than 100 damage. 4 hits, 13 damage. Yeah, it's time to adjust. Let's get that power bump going on Will. Caleb gets a nice crit for 111. And we're learning our lesson on Mezada's side. 4 Agamas again. This time we're going to run.
Absolutely. That's the right play there.
4 hits, 162 from Will. Caleb swings 4 hits, 19. Carry 2. It starts to get a little deadly when you let these revisited fiends get through their spell list, because you never know when nuclear is going to come out.
Yep, and speaking of the devil, we got Mezada fighting Carrie as well. Just 2,000 years in the past. Getting those defensive white shirts up. Carrie's not hitting that hard. Getting the fast off on Yoi the Knight. And more white shirts. And
Looks like
Zeus.
So we're saving spell charges. That means Mezada, he doesn't fear Carry 2. But maybe he should, because Zap takes out Yoi first, or Frost. I'm not sure what that is. It doesn't matter. They're both eating dirt right now. Fade comes out from Mez to Carry 2 for 92 damage. Blaze from Carry.
Yeah.
That seems appropriate.
You got to go here. You got to full open both barrels, nuke and fade, hit them hard, and then get out of here. And you got the life 2 to bring everybody back up. Shake it off.
Inferno and Blaze from Carry 2. Light 2 is coming out now. Nukes are flying. Caleb says he would just let it rip. That's exactly what Mezada does. Carry 2 is down. And he's got the life charges. He's going to shake it off indeed. Mezada moves on to the seafloor. TwitchNChilled, meanwhile, lights his first orb. And I got to imagine you're in the area. Maybe knock out Earth next. Doesn't really matter where you go. You're just going to fly through.
Yep, he's also actually got Onrak immediately would actually get there before Earth, depending on which way he routes around the globe. But Onrak was in the Elfland location. And Elfland was in the Crescent Lake location. So he's basically at Crescent Lake right now. So if he flies west, he can take out Sea Shrine. If he goes east, he can get to the Earth Gate.
So Twitch doing a little bit of inventory management here. Meanwhile, Mezada is on to Kraken 2's floor. It's everybody's favorite revisited fiend, often called the Gatekeeper. This is one of those fiends where you start to see people, and I think we keep saying the meta this, the meta that, and it's kind of a silly term to throw around because it's a randomizer and things are always different, but you're starting to see that people are fearing Kraken 2 less and less these days, and they're just going full offense right off the bat. Do you have a preferred way to take out Kraken?
Yeah, exactly that. Full offense. Maybe throw up a white shirt and then let the nukes rip. Hit him with the sword, just see where that absorb and evade is, and adjust from there and around.
So it looks like a little bit of both. He's getting fast and tempers up. He's doing the defense sword, the white shirt. So 1 round of defense. It's time to start swinging.
I don't like a full round of all 4 party members doing something defensively. I want to be doing damage every round, though. Whether it's chip damage, whether it's just a nuke and everybody else is doing bonks and white shirts and whatnot, but do some damage every round. Don't give the fiends a free.
So this is a little bit of a misstep on Mezada's part, right? And we're going to put away the memes and the jokes and the silly sword teams. There is absolutely no reason why we should still be swinging the defense sword when we have the Vorpal on fiends that are almost guaranteed to have moderate to high absorb. So it's about time to put on one of the endgame weapons. Hopefully makes a switch here.
He was. I mean, after just a few bonks and a fast, he was doing about 800 damage on that Kraken with the defense sword. But yeah, on Tiamat, I would definitely put the Vorpal on.
Josepher in chat pointing out he found the co-op files. Play with your buddy, man. See if you guys enjoy how it all goes, and then watch the exhibition match a week from Friday. Maybe join the tournament. We're still accepting team entrants for the foreseeable future, probably days before the tournament starts on June 16th. Mezada, meanwhile, 146.32 is on Tiamat 2, and we're right back to the defensive stats. We're throwing out buffs, we're doing white shirts, we're doing defense. The fast did get off, which feels pretty good because Tiamat's known to smack the back row just like he just did. Down goes the white wizard. How do you adjust here?
Step on the gas, man. Just step on the gas. I don't think he's swung on Tiamat yet. Find out where Tiamat's at with his absorb and evade, and if he's got it, let those nukes.
So that was with 3 stacks of evasion. Tiamat still hits for over 100 on the knight with the best gear.
Yep, but he did just miss the red wizard, it looks like. Yeah, time to let it rip. Have the knight do your defense, your defensive buffs. Have him drop those heal 2s and just have your casters go.
Quad X from Tiamat. This is about the time, Caleb, where you let us all know that we have yet to see nuclear and that chaos is going to be nasty, and if it happens, it's your fault, not mine.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. Mezada moves on to the ultimate final boss. He's on Chaos's floor, sub 150, and with a seed that was not as friendly at the start. We had multiple people joining the stream 20 minutes in saying, what was wrong? Why are there only 2 things lit up? Very impressive run so far from Mezada.
Yep, and Twitch is about to run up to Kraken. He had a much quicker run through C. So while I think he did the hard power cycle outside of the town, he wasn't checking chests, so he got through the floors a little bit quicker.
He did, made up the time. Unfortunately, the gap is just a little bit too much. So Twitch really needs for Chaos to land something deadly here. Chat points out Mezada finally made the switch over to the Vorpal, so now we're swinging a big boy weapon. We're tempering it up. We've already done defense. We're going to continue to white shirt, and now it's time to temper. He saved the tempers on that black wizard for this fight.
Absolutely.
White shirt goes off. We have the evasion. The Vorpal swings 6 hits, 445. Swirl comes out. Not going to be enough. It does take out the black wizard, but that knight is already swinging. We're out of tempers on the red wizard. Feels a little bad. All those tempers we were saving are now gone. But we've got heal 3. We have nukes, and I think it's going to be enough to get it done. 121 from the nuke. Heal 3 going off is going to top off the party. It's time for Yoi to swing the game changer. Yet again, 2 hits, 247. A little bit of high evasion from Chaos there. We had 4 hits last time. Meanwhile, TwitchNChilled at the 1 hour 49 minute mark has taken on his second Fiend. So is Chaos going to wipe Mezada and let Twitch claw his way back into this race? Down goes the red wizard. We're down to 2 light warriors. The Vorpal swings and misses. Look at the evasion showing up all of a sudden. Twitch does light the second orb, gets Kraken down. It's time for fades. Light 3 coming off from Chaos. Fade goes out, 186. Yoi swings the Vorpal for 4 hits, 644 damage.
Uh-oh. This is a beefy Chaos right now.
He got a little bit of health. The Vorpal swings again, 4 hits, 271. Not quite enough crits on that one. What do you do? Heal 3, he wants to top off. He's got the evasion up. Chaos isn't going to be swinging too hard. Yoi swings the Vorpal again. 4 hits, 378. More crits. The crits continue to flow. Fade goes off, 128. Chaos still swings. This is a very, very friendly Chaos. And Mezada gets it done with more crits from the Vorpal. 150, 24. Let's see if we can get an official time. 150, 26 seconds. Mezada takes first place.
Get those GGs in chat for Mezada and TwitchNChilled. They ran a hell of a race.
Yeah, unfortunate for Twitch that the early gambles didn't pay off. Has officially forfeited from the race, and I don't quite blame him. 2 orbs down. probably already feeling a little bit of that pressure from your early dives and gambles like we talked about. So Twitch and Chilled moves to 1-4 and will be hanging out with the old man in the park. Mezada moves on to 2-3 and has kind of kept himself in this. Gets a chance at 2-3 to play in the last chance qualifier a week from this Saturday. It looks like we're getting Mezada into Discord now. Let's see if we can pull him up here, and I'll let you start us off with the interviews. I think we've got quite a few questions we want to
Sure.
our brains with.
Hey, GG Mezada.
Hey, thanks, Caleb.
Hey, GG Twitch and Chilled. You're joining us up here in Discord.
So GG Mezada, your win puts you at 2-3, so you have a date with the last chance qualifier. 2-3. How do you feel about that?
Feels pretty good. I mean, didn't go 0-5, so I feel pretty. First time doing some speed running, so I think I did all right.
Yeah, I'd say you did pretty well. We didn't have the last chance qualifier last year, so last year 2-3s were just out of it. So at least this year you have a fighting chance. Twitch and Chilled joining us here as well. Caleb pointed that out. GG to Twitch and Chilled. It was a rough start there for you. We like the gambles. We said on stream we really loved that you made those moves. They didn't quite pay off for you in this seed with Ruby being in Marsh, but I think very well played nonetheless.
Thanks. I'll always dive Marsh, but it was a waste of time this time.
I'm usually right there with you. I usually always dive Marsh, but I didn't for some reason this time. Just didn't play out.
Didn't, even with the canoe start, huh?
No.
Nice. Yeah, that would save a lot of time.
So what were your guys' thoughts on the early game here? We had a lot of folks coming to chat about 20-25 minutes in, and they were expecting something else, I guess, when they saw that you guys only had about 2 items, and those were the king and princess items early on. So how did it feel running this early game?
I thought it was a bit rough with nuke red gargoyles.
Yeah, that was. I drove the volcano and I said, "Nope, I'm out of here."
Me too. It's like I'd rather go to ice.
That's what I did. I saw Elfland at Crescent Lake and I farmed outside of there for a while to get some money to get like nuke and fake and get some levels to cast him.
I have a feeling we did fairly similar things, at least for the start, because I farmed for a while too.
Yep. The biggest difference between the farming that y'all were doing was Mezada went across the river into a different encounter zone and was getting the Pede fights much faster off the reset than you were, Twitch.
I was thinking about that, and I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna be stubborn.
Yeah, when you watch his VOD, man, I was doing my best to wheel you across that river to get over there and start hitting those.
So we saw the nuke gargoyles, but we also saw Blaze Catman outside of Ordeals. Did you start to get the feeling that what kind of led both of you to decide I'm going to take a few extra levels even if I don't have my 12 key items just because you wanted more health?
Yeah, I wanted a little bit more levels just in case I found that Mazmoon, and then I could get that level 24 and just go straight for it. Because I pretty much knew at Ordeals where everything was.
Mm-hmm.
I found it both loose.
I can't remember what else had something nasty, but I wanted to stay as far away from Sky as I could.
When I saw Catman, they had Blaze. I don't know if we ever saw Damage Poison.
Yeah, I don't think we saw like Damage Poison. I don't think Toxic ever came out. There were quite a few of the nastier abilities that we didn't see, but first turn nuke from Gargoyles is gonna kind of humble you pretty quickly.
Yeah, I went back in for that ribbon, but that was about it. Bum rushed it and left.
I went for the ribbon and the shield too.
Yeah, the Age of Shield, yeah.
We did see, I wanted to ask you guys about the late game grinds that we were doing. So, Mezada, you took quite a few fights in Topher, and at the same time, Twitch, you were doing an Agama grind very late. So can you guys talk to us about those late game grinds you were doing and what your goal was with those, apart from levels?
I was tired of wiping in Topher, so I figured I had all but one of the key items, and I would do an Agama grind and then just blaze through the rest of it.
With only the defense sword and the sun sword as my swords,
Right.
I wanted to get at least a few more levels. I think I found the Vorpal too at one point, but I wanted to get a few more levels just to make the Topher go through pretty.
That too. Nobody found Maza, huh?
No Mazza find. Mezada found Vorpal in Sky, the 4 free chests just before the maze. Mezada, I gotta ask you.
Yes.
You made the adjustment. You put the Vorpal on for Chaos. Did you consider doing that a little sooner?
I thought I did it on Tiamat, the fight before, and then when I was swinging, I was like, because I switched out his ribbon, the ribbon to him, because of the carry zapped him on the previous fight, or the earlier fight, and I just forgot to switch over the Vorpal.
It ended up not mattering. Even with the defense sword, you had enough tempers and bonks. You could have, we joked about this earlier, Minochi has done this with an iron hammer. You could have taken him out with a lesser weapon with all the tempers you had going out, but I think we noticed that you were you keeping the Black Mage alive and well, obviously keeping him alive, but you were specifically holding on to his tempers for Chaos. Is that why you weren't throwing out as many tempers with him, or?
I think I was using his tempers first, and then I was just going back and forth trying to get an even number in case someone died, that I wouldn't be lost without anything.
It's a smart move.
Yeah.
Twitch, real quick. 1 and 4. Unfortunately, it does end the spring tournament here for you. But if you would, just tell us a little bit about what brought you into the community and your overall thoughts now that you've got 5 seeds under your belt and you've kind of finished up here.
I've only got 4. I had a buy, but I enjoyed the ride. I wanted to be a part of what I had been watching for a while. Will Cleosis, Edgeworth, Minochi, I mean, everyone. I've watched a number of runs by all of you, and I thought, why not? It started with the first YouTube live stream, and everyone was super kind and encouraged me to join, so I did.
Mezada, you're moving on to the 2 and 3, the last chance qualifier. How are you going to prepare for that race?
I am not sure quite just yet. I really haven't looked too much into it. I think it's the same flag sets, maybe a little bit different. I haven't looked at the flags.
It will be the same. It'll just be a different forest and band.
Yeah, then I'll just try to play like I always have. Just prepare for anything and hope we get a good roll. And my opponent does, or however it goes out, yeah.
So, with the spring tournament coming to an end for you, Twitch, any plans to participate in the co-op tournament or the later summer league summer league tournament thing that's happening?
I don't think I could let a partner down in the co-op tournament.
Oh, buddy.
I don't take it that seriously. So, but summer league we'll have to see. Just kind of. Yeah, it's been a blast though. I've had a lot of fun and made a lot of friends. Enjoyed my time.
Awesome. As someone that's coming into this community, like we talked about it when you came on the show, and you and we came into this community, we joined right around the same time. We've been watching for a while now, and what I'm most looking forward to with players like you, players like Mezada, the sort of like the newer blood in the community. I'm really looking forward to the tournament season coming to a close and getting involved with the duck pond and more of like the weekly activities as those things start to ramp back up. And I'm looking forward to playing and racing with both of you in the future. And Mezada, I know that we did a practice run about a week ago, and that was a lot of fun. And that's what I've found in this community, and I wanted to get your thoughts about how you felt this community has sort of welcomed both of you as individuals. Twitch, go first. I realized I did a bad thing and asked the question to both of you at the same time. So my bad.
I look forward to being a part of the community on and off.
Well said, Duckling. Mezada. How about you?
It's been a really friendly community. I guess just like Twitch, I've been watching for about a year or so, just kind of watching Wilcosis, Falconic, all the Edgeworth, all of them, everybody, Minochi, and wanted to see what it was like to actually trying to race this. I've been playing it on my own, playing some random hard seeds as they come along, but I didn't really know how my time would compare to someone else, and I thought it might be fun to try that out.
Mhm.
And about the same time Twitch was signing up, he kind of it's like, yeah, I'm going to sign up, and I've never played before. It should be easy. It's no problem. He was also one of the ones that was in there in the Discord, kind of motivating me to go on.
Probably only a day or two after I joined.
Could have been.
So that's kind of the fun thing about FFR, especially since we started what we called originally the New Player Initiative, which was started basically by Wilkliosis and Moist Mogwai. They wanted to create a community that was welcoming to newer players, whether you had played Final Fantasy growing up for the past 30 years like most of us have, or like in Mo's case, Moist Mogwai had never played the game at all in her life until she saw me playing it and saw how much I loved the community, and I just wouldn't shut up about it while we were just day to day talking about what was going on. Just jumped in and learned the game. The community really, really is, I think, hands down, one of the best you're ever going to find. Everybody's super helpful. There's tons of information and links. Learning the game's possibly the easiest part about all of it. In all honesty, I think setting up SRL and getting all of your stream set up, that's the more difficult of all of it, in my opinion, and we've got people to help out with all that as well. So hopefully the experience that Mezada and Twitch and or Caleb, sorry, the name throws me off, hopefully the experience that they're talking about kind of translates to everyone else, because we've heard lots of good feedback about that as well. Very, very easy to kind of get into this game, so there's really no reason not to, especially if we've got something like the co-op tournament coming up where maybe you don't feel confident taking on a seed on your own. Grab a partner, throw them in the truck, and take off down the road and see where you can get with it.
That'll be a fantastic watch. I really look forward to most likely just watching it, but that'll be a lot of fun.
I got a little bit of a breaking information here. So we've said that a week from this Friday is going to be the exhibition for that co-op match. But it looks like we have our participants pretty much locked down. We're still working on the time. But looks like we're going to have Mo and Meridian, part of Team Flavortown. Caleb, do you have any idea who they're going to be facing?
No clue, not at all. I need to practice these flags. We're my partner Hyro Fellows. We're going to be Team Rofe Hates Caleb, and I feel bad for him because I've never played an Entrance to Floor Shuffle. So,
no.
You talk about feeling bad about dragging a partner down. I feel like I've apologized to Hyro, but he seems like a pretty cool guy. So we're gonna put on a show hopefully next Friday, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe Entrance to Floor Shuffle will be my bag, and that's where all my hidden talent lies. But we'll see.
Possibly. We'll find out. Enough about the upcoming tournament. Right now, we are going to go ahead and get final thoughts here, Mezada, for the seed, for the tournament, for just about anything since you've been here. Anything you have to say? What do you think?
Just again, thanks to all the commentators and the trackers. They've been a great help, and all the friendly people in the community. Like you said, even if you've never played this game before, it's pretty easy just to get into. Everyone's very helpful and friendly, and it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
I agree.
Twitch, go ahead. Final thoughts.
It's a great community, and it was a fun experience.
Good deal. Caleb, go ahead, and then we'll call out the matches coming up and wish everyone a good night. I think this is the last race here for tonight. Final thoughts on what you saw from the two runners tonight?
I think both of you, I think there's a lot of promise for the future of FFR. This tournament had about 30 participants. I think next year we may have who knows, maybe double that, if not more. I think what you guys bring to the table, how quickly you just jumped in from being spectators to being players is admirable and commendable. And I think more and more people in our community should jump on that bandwagon and just try to race these seeds, because I think you're limiting yourself by not participating in these tournaments, and I think it can be a lot of fun. But yeah, so thank you both for racing, and Danny for tracking, and Braxis Muse for tracking, and Falconic for being my co-host and the captain on this ship as we sail the high seas in this spring tournament. But this has been a blast. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, not a
Here's where
problem.
Mazamune was.
Certainly fun. Where was Maza? Was it in Earth?
Right there.
Oh, feels good. We love Earth paying off. So, if you enjoyed
Is it Earth 1?
Earth
Oh.
4, it looks like.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's a little far for me to dig it for.
All right, so tomorrow coming up, just to catch you guys up, we've got Solaris Drix versus Jay Coper. That's at 7 o'clock. But the main event, I think the one everybody's been waiting for all tournament long, at 8 o'clock, Crab Cakes versus Edgeworth, the Battle of Undefeateds. Again with the boxing terms, somebody's O has got to go. We also have Melee Wizard versus our very own tracker tonight, Braxis Muse. That's coming up at 9 o'clock. And another match. We've got a 4-match race night tomorrow night. SVJ versus Gregley Puff. That's another one where the winner moves on to the last chance qualifier and the loser goes home. That one's going to be at 10 o'clock. So plenty of action tomorrow night. My name is Falconic. I was joined in the booth with the Maiden Voyage by Caleb tonight. It was certainly a pleasure. Mezada moves on to 2 and 3, goes to the last chance qualifier. TwitchNChilled joins the old man in the park who had a bottle tonight, so who knows what was in the bottle, but he's going to join him and find out. So we certainly appreciate you showing up. We'd like to thank Speed Gaming, as always, for all the tremendous help they've given us over the tournament. Danny and Braxis tracking as always. And it's time to put this one to bed. So thank you so much for watching us, and we hope to see you tomorrow night.